Well, hello and welcome to I Love Gay today. And we are back in the UK in Birmingham to be specific. And we are here with Robin Gray from Gray Jones Media and Gayming Magazine. How are you?
I'm good, Matt. How are you?
Very good. I'm excited to have you here. There's so much going on in Birmingham all of a sudden. I don't know if everybody knows that from the big picture point of view, there's this thing called the Commonwealth Games, and and it's going to be there in a couple of weeks.
Literally about 2 weeks today, yeah. The 28th of July, I think.
Yeah, no. And but what's important is that first there's something there called Pride House Birmingham, and Pride House, and it's part of like a larger Pride House International. But tell us a little bit about that. Like, what is that all about?
So Pride House is a concept pop-up experience that occurs near every major sporting event. So I believe it started near one of the Australian Olympics back in the year 2000. And then every Olympics and Commonwealth Games, they've popped up and provided this kind of safe haven, this refuge, this place of learning and entertainment for LGBTQ competitors, fans, visitors to the city. I was really excited by the one that was meant to have happened, and it did happen in Tokyo for the Tokyo Olympics 2 years ago. Actually, it was last year officially. But because of the pandemic, nobody could actually get to Pride House that was there in Tokyo, which is a real shame. But the legacy it's left in Tokyo is how Tokyo itself now has its first LGBTQ center. So it actually it really is a way of fostering change. So of course we now have one in Birmingham, run by a wonderful chap called Piero, and his wonderful team of doing some fantastic things. It's down in our gay village here in Birmingham. And it's going to be, there's a 18-day program of exhibitions and events and pop-up things and drag performances and sport on the big screen and all this sort of wonderful stuff.
But what's important here, especially on this conversation, is that there's going to be an entire gaming arena with the Gayming.
Gayming, exactly.
In the whole world of esports, and you guys are kind of heading that up. So that's a big deal.
It is a big deal. It kind of echoes quite wonderfully as well what the Commonwealth Games are doing this year. They actually have esports as a demonstration sport at the Commonwealth Games. And we were invited as Gayming Magazine, the world's only LGBTQ video game magazine, to come along and provide, as you say, a gaming arena. So we're going to have 12 computer setups that people can drop in and play both a combination of esports, but also a selection of a varied selection of LGBTQ games that we've handpicked as good examples, brilliant examples of our wonderful queer community.
Yeah, and then there's a panel, I think, that's going to happen as well, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So August, so the Gaming Arena is open every day that Pride House is open, and Pride House runs from the 22nd of July through till the 8th of August. But on the 1st and 2nd of August, there is a specific focus on esports. So all the computers and all the games that be playable in the arena on those 2 days are all going to be esports. And yeah, absolutely. So on the evening of August 1st, we're welcoming along 3 fantastic people to come and sit on a panel and talk about increasing LGBTQ representation in esports. The esports scene is one that's very stuck in, let's say, not overly diverse ways, perhaps even slightly damaging to sort of diverse communities, very kind of toxic in some places. And so the opportunity to kind of share some learnings and share some inspirations from 3 fantastic people who are all LGBTQ, who have all worked in the esports industry in some way or another, to say, okay, this is great, how do we do more? And that kind of builds off the success that we've had with Gayming Magazine, working for 3 years now, holding a mirror up to the global video game industry, saying, this is great, how do we do more? And we've had some fantastic successes with gaming. And so now I'm hoping we get some fantastic successes, really sort of championing diverse esports.
Yeah, no, it's interesting because I've been following, and kind of especially through Twitter, all of the everything that you guys have been doing at gaming, and you really found like a fantastic. It was a great niche that in the LGBTQ space it was wide open in that sense, and you guys did a fantastic job of kind of taking on that space.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, it was a niche that was quite wide open. There'd been a few attempts to kind of fill it, but I think we'd we were able to kind of really occupy the space and I think we understood that it wasn't just about the games, ironically. I think a lot of our site is also focused on the industry itself. So it's about championing people that work in the industry, supporting people that work in the industry. We've had some great results working with some amazingly important players in the industry, Xbox, PlayStation, EA Games, etc., that have all kind of lent their support to us, and we've given it back. And I think that's the kind of the route we took, which is, yes, we talk about why, and the beautiful thing is we actually broke our own programming about a year ago when we started to grow out of games. We went into kind of other kind of queer geekdom, so we including sort of comics, etc. But we flip-flop from amazing sort of deep cutting sort of journalism, like what happened to Nightwing's Bubble Butt, right up to actual sort of critical interviews with newly emerging people in the industry.
Yeah, but I noticed that you've also kind of become, in some ways, a focus, and you help bring a voice or amplify the voice or voices of so many of the different content creators and gaming creators that are out there that are LGBT.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. So the content creators, as part of the gaming industry, there's never really been a formal kind of relationship established as to whether they're actually physically part of it or not. And I think that's unfair, because if there wasn't for content creators, then a lot of games would have died a very early death, because the streaming is the new frontier for particularly for video games, but for entertainment in general. We as gaming actually stream multiple times a week on Twitch. We're the only LGBTQ outlet that actually streams on Twitch at the moment. And again, it's another thing that we've kind of grabbed hold of and really kind of ran with. But absolutely, yeah. So we use our platform to uplift and celebrate all facets of the LGBTQ community, on stream, in the industry, in games. And that kind of culminates with our Gayming Awards, which have happened for the last 2 years here in the UK. This year's one we had in London as a hybrid event. You had 400 people in person in a theatre in London. We had 320,000 people watching on a live stream from 97 countries around the world.
Wow. That's exciting. And anything else kind of on the horizon here this year for you guys?
Yeah. So the Gayming Awards 2023, we are hopping the pond, and quite excitingly, it's going to be the Gayming Awards live on Broadway. Wow. There's a fantastically queer venue, a stone's throw from Times Square, that we'll be right in front of. It's got, as I say, it's an amazing queer history. I'm super excited to be coming for that. The news broke, I think, about a week ago now in IGN about our trip over the pond. So yeah, I'm really excited for that.
I'll be there.
You will be there. You will be there. I've already got a seat with your name on it.
I love it. No, I think that this is exciting, and I'm really glad that you're able to take a few moments and kind of share a bit of your story, not only about what you guys are doing at Pride House, but also with Gayming Magazine, and look forward to being able to connect again in the real world. Yeah,
absolutely. If you don't mind me, a quick sort of links and shout outs and whatever else, obviously Gayming Magazine's at gaymingmag.com, GAYMING mag.com, and we're at Gayming Mag on all social media.
Yeah, including Twitch.
Including Twitch.
Well, thanks again for being here.
Absolute pleasure, Matt. Thank you.
It feels good, so good, coming back.